Hey, that's definitely an eye-popping color, right? Oh boy, the Quick Citron Green. I remember seeing these back in the 90s on the tracks when they came out. Pretty potent color. Actually, it's kind of nice to be able to be seen, kind of flashy. That's if you like this kind of color. But let's not talk about the color. Let's talk about this Cannondale Quick. Is this bike, right? Is it a bike for you? Your kind of riding, if you want to add N+1 to your actual stable of bikes that you already have? Or is it one of those, bikes that, I don't know if it's quite my style. But you're looking at this as, well, it's pretty cool. This one's dirty and it's in for a tune-up, and they're thinking on the fence of maybe selling it and getting something else. We'll review that after this. Check it out. Citron Green. Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with a guy. Hi, I'm Justin the Guy. Obviously I have a garage shop. Take scary how to use one bike at a time. If you want to be kept up to date on the latest projects and topics, please like and subscribe. Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with a guy. Hey, I'm Justin the Guy on this old bike series. Ooh, not so old, is it? Ooh, only like 5 years or so. Well, today is another beautiful day in colorful Colorado with the garage door open and cranking on bikes. Yes, it is the early AM, and hey, this is what I love to do, passion, peace. This particular bike is a customer that's actually a repeat customer, and us mechanics, bike shop owners, love you. So extra hugs, because that definitely is testimonial of us doing a good job most of the time. In any case, this particular bike is on the fence of the chopping block, or I try to keep it with my staple. This particular individual came in, they brought a couple bikes for me to do some tune-ups, my magic tune-up. We're going to do some detailing to the frame and get this green to like burn through your eyeballs, right? This color is, I like this color. It's kind of flashy, right? In a weird way. Kind of puts me back in the 90s when Trek had their Citron. Was it Trek or was it GT? I don't know. Somebody had some super flashy green. I think it was Klein, maybe. Anyway, oh, Klein. Seinfeld hanging in the back. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about if you're in my age demographics with my portal of everybody watching right now. Any case, he also saw this mountain bike was behind me on my website when he was making his appointment, going, ooh, that looks kind of like my size. Well, he wants that, and he doesn't know if he really wants to keep this, so we're in the fence. In any case, I'm going to give the magic to the tune-up. If he wants to keep it as a backup bike for friends or other kind of riding, great bike. Or if he wants to move it along, I'm giving it the best opportunity possible of going to a new owner to have a wonderful time riding. Okay, what is a Cannondale? We reviewed the story what we're going to do to the bike. Tune up, clean the frame, wax the chain, cables and housing maybe if need be. Make this thing like new condition, if not better than new. Let's review what Cannondale Quick is. Cannondale Quick is what they call a dual sport. A dual sport is a byproduct of a hybrid bike that fell in love with a mountain bike. It's a very loving tale of two bikes running amok in the early 2000s. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to the story on point. Quick XC. I'm not really. XC stands for a lot of different things. Cross country, cross cycle, I don't know, whatever. The Quick is the model of it. Cannondale is the brand. Cannondale is actually owned by Pond, which this was in underneath the Pond Holdings umbrella when it was in 2019, which I believe this model is. You can look up, I have a video on Pond below in my library as well. Pond Holdings, they own like 50 different companies. They're the sneaky company buying all these little companies up and making, I don't know, whatever. Let's not go there. But in any case, the Cannondale Quick, dual sport. Dual sport, just like the name, dual sport. You can do multiple sports. Just like in the hybrids back in the 90s, 700C wheel with a straight bar. So it's basically a road bike with a straight bar mountain bike design. Very super popular. I had talk with John Bradley. You can see one of those videos on there on this old bike as the wheel turns. He does mention about the hybrids making a scene in the 90s, which in some areas was a pretty good fit, like the Midwest, where they didn't really have mountain bike trails. And so the mountain bikes were just a little overkill, but they have a home in your city urban riding. Yet today, you'll see them all over the place. It's a faster mountain style bar, upright position, riding for comfort and going a little fast and commuting and all that. Great commuter bikes, great recreational bikes, all those. Okay, so that's the hybrid. Well, the hybrid decided to branch off and have triplets. Well, the triplets, one of them is the dual sport. The dual sport is front suspension, a little more mountainish, a little more trail dirt roadish, a little more gravel. Right, precursor when gravel became gravel bikes, which actually were cyclocross bikes back in the day, which have been riding for the last 3 decades. You're all posers riding on gravel bikes, I swear to God, because I've been doing it for the last 3 decades before you guys came around. Anyway, sorry, sidebar. Cyclocross bike became the gravel bike. Well, they still have cyclocross specific. Yeah, it's a whole different sport, over 100 years old, really kind of fun thing, in any case, to watch or participate in. Back to the gravel. No, back to the dual sport. Okay, you basically dual sports, they have a different variety of levels of them. That's kind of where they're taking a bike and like made too many models. Almost. It does have a purpose. So if you're a little more leaning toward mountain biking, but you're really not quite there, and you like the rigid, basically it's a 700C 29er wheel, and a little bit, it's not the 29er, don't get totally confused, but it is kind of that direction. In any case, aluminum frame, front suspension. You don't see a lot of high ends of these because it's more in that recreational category, which is shifted a little bit lower. You can find these probably in the bike shops around about $1,000 or so for a decent one. New, I still suggest maybe looking at used, because you can probably find one for like 100 or 150 bucks. Put a tune-up on it, some parts, and boom, under 500 bucks, you got yourself the same damn bike as what they're selling in the new stores. So hey. Anyway, if you want to go through that effort, or if you want to have the warranties or whatever through the bike shop, which is really not that much of a warranty anymore, in any case, you can go the new route. But here's the used route. Going to do the tune-up. What's kind of cool about this one? It has hydraulic brakes. Hydraulic brakes are a little bit better than cable actuated brakes because you have more wheel speeds, controls, and so forth. Great for mud and that kind of thing. What also they're able to do is able to give you wider clearance for tires. So therefore, you can get a bigger, fatter tire in here without worrying about the brakes being an issue. Therefore, that's where the disc brakes come in really dandy. This one has hydraulic brakes, but it's kind of bipolar because it has low-end componentry. So it's like there but not there. I don't know. It's more mid-range. Let's just call it that. It does have the Suntour fork, which nobody I know does services on Suntour forks. Maybe they do out there. If you do and you're in a shop and you service Suntour forks, put some comments below. Tell us about yourself, because there's not very many people out there that do that. The pretty basic forks, usually spring or elastomer, they don't do a lot of air pressure. They do have a full line of forks, don't get me wrong. But most of the ones you'll see in recreational bikes are more basic. You can probably take them apart yourself, clean them, put them back together, and be okay or dandy and fine. But putting all that time and effort into a fork of this value, you might as well be looking for either a newer replacement or upgrade if you want to go that direction. In any case, forks on these are pretty basic. They usually don't get ridden too hard, not like mountain bikes. So in that case, it's probably in really good condition, just needs to be cleaned up. It probably functions just as it did on day one. So nor here nor there, but they are kind of heavy. That adds weight to the bike. But it does give you that little added cush to the front of the bike when you're doing some more of those dirt roads, washboard roads, single track, double track, that kind of thing. So decent componentry. It's okay. It's Suntour. Well, it has a Suntour crank, Suntour fork. Oh, weird. With Shimano front derailleur and rear derailleur, and the cassette is SRAM. We got a little mix of all the brands on this bad boy. And Tektro. Let's add that to the mix for the hydraulic brakes. So it's pieced together, which is pretty damn common on new bikes. This is pretty much OEM. So that's what you're going to see on the floor of the newer bikes. What you're not going to see is the triple. That's the kicker. On the newer ones, they're going by 2x or 1x. They're getting rid of the triple. In any case, I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that, but this is going to give you a lot more climbing gears and a lot more smoother shifting in the back, because they don't have to put a big damn cow pie in the back there to accommodate that range, which each gear is a huge chunk shift, and you'll find yourself riding like, I want to be in between these two. Well, this particular gear set, you're going to find that perfect range, and since you do have a triple up front, will give you that range for hill climbing, headwinds, descending, all the things. Keep the triple, people. In any case, awesome little bike. Needs some cleaning. Needs a lot of cleaning. I don't think it's been tuned up since it was new. Has a lot of frame scuffages. So we will go over that and kind of clean those up and do ultrasonic cleaning on the derailleurs and the drivetrain, get that all up to speed. Maybe cables and housing, all depends. It needs to be replaced for shifting. Although it's newer, it may not need it. So we'll assess that. Maybe on the rear because it's already frayed up and pokey, and definitely a tetanus situation in any case. Well, it's not rusty, but anyway, whatever. So we're going to do some cleaning on this and make it back to life. So if he decides to keep it, it's going to be an awesome bike for him to do those rolls around a neighborhood. It's always good to have a backup bike for recreational riding. We have a specialized roll, literally rolls, and they are actually a blast. Even though they have the cheapest, junkiest componentry on it, they're just fun. It's supposed to be fun, right? In any case, back to this. We're going to do our magic tune-up on it, detailing the frame, going to wax the chain, drivetrain clean, possible cable and housing replacement, get this thing all buffed out to its prime, and probably better than new-ish. There's going to be some scuffs that I can't get out, but it's going to be pretty darn cool. So if somebody does buy this off this gentleman, they're going to have one solid bike underneath them. Let's get cracking. And if I come across any scary boo-boos, I will feature those. If not, we'll be flipping right into the review of the parts and what we came up with. Before that, I want to give some close-ups of pre-dirtiness. Yeah. See all those scuffs, and some of that stuff will be cleaned up on the paint. We also will be adding a ceramic coating to this to make it super shine. See all that dirty gunkiness? I mean, yeah, not too bad there. But see, this has a lot of that garage wear where it leans up against stuff. These are notoriously falling over in the garage, known for that. But over and all, underneath it, it is definitely good bones, but super dirty. Dirtiest parts, probably the little forks there. Yeah, you got some. This will make your brakes squeak and make all sorts of noise if you don't clean that all up. And then getting this all clean and new. Either case of keeping it or selling it, you want to have this clean. If you're selling this, you want this cleaned up and represented to its best ability. And also has a flat tire. So you want to make sure your bike that you're selling is able to be test ridden and all those things. And if you have any service records to it, provide those. People like to check that stuff out too. All right, let's crank some tunes and get this going. Well, this is where we have rotors trued. Look how clean that wheel looks with ceramic wax coating. Yeah, this is pretty stellar. That's the front. Whoop, there's the rear. Just as clean, just as true, ready for its next adventure. So yeah, the tire was flat. I thought that was maybe a problem, but it's not. But it did have all these little we have goat head stickers here, which look like a little goat head, and they break off and they leave their little bits inside tires, and I flicked out about 50 of them, both the rear and the front, so hopefully they won't repuncture the new tube. So I'll be testing that. Set it at 60 psi on these tires. Chain is still a little warm, just freshly waxed, clean, ready to go. Yep, this is what I used on the rim, the hub, and spokes, and this is what I used on the tire sidewall to give it a little more life. Whole assortment of rags, and yep, scratch and swirl polish compound from Adams with the pads assorted accordingly with the Dremel here to get the frame up to snuff. I'll show that in a second here. And yes, I got a dead bug in my coffee. Well, extra protein, what the hell. I did put a little coating on the actual parts too after I cleaned them. Just give them a little extra shine, a little extra protection, mainly of this stuff here, the mother ceramic wax. You can use lithium too. I used lithium, which is the higher end stuff, for the actual frame. Here we're looking at the cassette, super clean. You definitely want to clean your drivetrain really well if you're going to go with wax. That means it's just you don't have any additional contaminants in there and everything's freshly cleaned, and you can lube your pivots with Tri-Flow. That's my superior lube preference of choice for little pivots, cable housing, all that kind of bits. Well, there's the ceramic slam. Whoa! Burn your eyeballs out. Put on your sunglasses, folks. Here, this is a very, very neon fluorescent green bike. Super clean, super buff. Scratches mostly taken out. There's like a scuffage here from some pad or whatever. I got most of it out. And this has been coated, I would say, 4 times, 4.5 times with ceramic. I stacked it. I'm going to let it cure a little bit before I do the knockdown. This is before I've actually wiped it down. This is still flashing. I wanted to give it a little more time. And that's what's nice about the lithium versus other ceramic, especially the high-end ceramics included in the same category, where you got to knock it down within the recommended time of 10-15 minutes, depending which one it is and depending on your atmosphere. If it's higher humidity, flash time will be different. I found with lithium, you can just let it chill, and then you can come back to it and knock it down, and you'll still get that nice effect without having some weird smearage thing that I have on one of my cars. I did a little section, and yeah, not a car guy. I'm a bike guy, in any case, even though we have nice cars. That's basically my wife's into that. But look at that head tube. Man, whew. That's some scuffage from the little bracket that was on there. There's some chips and so forth that just can't come out, but you will not even notice them with the ceramic coating and detailing of it. Also, I added a little coating to, yes, you guessed it, the bars, the shifters, the fork coating, also even the calipers, hydraulic calipers and so forth. So this is going to be one immaculate showstopper Cannondale retina burning neon green. Well, I'm going to go for a ride because it is nice out, and I'm going to let this cure and let my chain chill, literally, and everything else. And once I come back from my ride, I will reassemble, do a little review and test ride, a little review. But man, can't be more than happy than how this is turning out. This is going to be one stellar ride. All right, let's take a little pause here, go for a little ride. Oh yeah, I did clean the brake pads and burned them off. There we go. Here we go. On to the test ride. Here it is, the final reveal in the sun. I'm going to have to put on some very big shades, maybe welder shades. Anyway, let's take this for a test ride. Look at that. So clean. Yeah, let's take it out. All right. Woo. Yeah, boy. Well, it rolls. That's a good sign. Right. Let's hit the brakes. And it stops. Yep. Brake pads had plenty of meat on them still. Just need to be cleaned up. They had a lot of contaminants in there. I did wax the chain on this, so therefore we're going to go easy on the gears, each one of them. Kind of just ease into it because, you know, when you wax a chain, you basically just gave it a whole bunch of stiff links, and you need to have that wax break out and loosen up. So we're going to take it a little bit easy here. Actually feels really good. All right, so let's take a little turn. Drops to small, medium, large. 1, 2, 3. 3 is a high gear, hard. Get down to 8, that is my fastest gear. And I'm not doing a huge load when I'm doing the shifting, so it will be able to do that. This is still lower end componentry. It's Sarah from Shimano, so it's not something you're going to be jamming anyway, like your XT and XTR for off-road use, but here we have it. Oh man, this ride's really nice. And that front shock, I can definitely tell it's taking up all the bumps of the road for sure. Making it a more of a comfortable ride. So this is where your dual sport will be comfy on pavement, like bike path riding and roads and so forth. But it is heavier, and it's going to take a little more effort to do your workout. But it's more versatile when you do mountain stuff, that kind of thing. So we got some good shifting all the way around. It's very good. Oop, yeah, stopping, very good. Yeah, boy, let's bump this up. Give you the mountain view of the beautiful Colorado mountains. You can kind of see it's kind of cloudy today, so yeah, let's check it out. There you go. That's the money shot in our neighborhood, right down the street. All right, let's do this one more time. So I'm gonna put a little pressure on each cog, do a little stand up. Make sure it fits good and doesn't skip or pop. Not that the chain was stretched out by any means, but I just want to make sure we don't have any problems there. Brakes are not making any noise. And it gets up into number 1, which is the low gear. Again, this is a triple, which is nice. That means you can go up and down some pretty good hills and have a strong headwind like we have right now. If you're catching that in the background, I do apologize. All right, let's take her back to dock and check it out. Woo! All right. Whoa. Oh, look at that color. There we have it. Cannondale Quick XC Dual Sport. Is it the bike for you? This could be one of many bikes for a lot of people. It does a lot of different kind of riding. Has a wide range of gears, versatile tires, front little suspension to take up the roughness of it. It is aluminum frame, so you will feel some of that gyrate right up through the seat on those longer rides. So you might want to knock down tire pressure or get a little bit wider tire on there, that kind of thing. But in any case, it's still a pretty nice ride. And look at that color, it's fantastic in the sun. It's like citron green. I'm not sure what they call it from Canada. That's what the Trek people had theirs at back in the day. In any case, well, thanks for hanging out with me in the garage and checking out the Cannondale Quick with me. It's fine-tuned and ready to go for its next adventure. Apparently the owner's going to keep it, so it's going to go back to its original home, and hopefully the cleanliness and the beauty of it will just give him awe and also keep it clean. In any case, that's what we're here for, right? Clean and fix and whatever needs to be done. Again, thanks for hanging out in the garage. If you have a bike like this or similar, or worked on them, or whatever the case may be, please comment below. It is a community, and it does make you to make this community, so thank you for watching. I appreciate it. In addition to, I'll have other information in the description as well. Before you go, please check out these wonderful pictures of this hot pink shot in the sun. Ceramic coating, 4-stack. My gosh, that is amazing. Look at that. Check it out.